Hey people, Indrid here, and welcome to something that is not Dawn of War 2. This is a game called Warhammer 40,000 Storm of Vengeance Heresy Indrid by a company called Technics, which are not the most highly regarded company developers because they were involved with Ride to Hell Retribution a couple of years ago or last year, which was awful by all accounts. Normally though, they seem to be making racing games and stuff, so a bit of a departure for them. They have made a game very similar to this, which is called Samurais vs Ninjas or something like that. I've never played it, but apparently the mechanics are very similar to this. When they announced this, they announced it as a lane strategy game, which caused many people, including myself, to assume it was some kind of MOBA or Dota style game, but it is not. I thought I'd take a quick look at it, since some of you may or may not be interested in seeing what it's like and don't want to put down the £6.99 or your regional equivalent to give it a try, which is not a whole lot to be honest, but there are lots of very good cheap games on Steam these days, so every time a game is a bit over £5, people balk at it. Game does have an options menu, and there's not a whole lot there, as you can see. Music's pretty nice. The art on this menu is pretty decent, I think. It does have a multiplayer, which seems to be some kind of global campaign going on, which is perhaps a bit interesting. I've never played it. There's a skill tree, which is separate in multiplayer. Looks like you need to level this up separately to the campaign. I'll get to it later. There is an Orc and a Space Marine campaign. This game is based on the Battle of Piscina 4. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. It's part of the Third War for Armageddon. Basically, it's Dark Angels versus Orcs. If you want to look up more about that fluff, because I don't know much about it, you can go look it up. There is an Orc campaign and a Space Marine campaign. I've played the Space Marine campaign up to level 16. That's basically the level of my forces. You gain XP and you can use the points you get to unlock new units and abilities and all sorts of stuff. So let's dive in. It's split into days, as you can see. And what's a day 27 is a mission a day. This is not the most deep game ever. Let's get out of the way. This is basically a casual game. It is cross-platform for mobile devices and supports full cross-platform play, I believe. And I can show you my skill tree up here. Playing as the Space Marines. I've got my drop pod, I've got my Storm Raven, and I've got my Rhino, and that is it. These are the things which spawn your units at the end of your lane. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of depth. There's 3 things here, and that's all I can do. And I've got them all already. And these are more abilities that you can get for the things that spawn out. Basically, drop pods spawn Tactical Marines. As you can see, I've unlocked the Fragmentation Grenade because that's part of the tutorial, it tells you to. I've also unlocked the Plasma Gun, and I've unlocked this thing, which gives you a Sergeant who can stop in his lane and heal stuff, but it doesn't seem that useful to me from what I've played. The Storm Raven lets you spawn Assault Marines. I've got this skill, which allows you to change lanes, and I've got a Plasma Pistol because Assault Marines are pretty bad at range combat. The Storm Raven also has guns on it, so it can protect the lane that is spawned on. The Rhino spawns Devastators, also has a gun on it, but it's not quite as good as the Storm Ravens. I've got a Plasma Cannon unlocked, and that is it. They do have a, what is this, a Crack Grenade. These guys have a Melter Bomb. There's a Sergeant you can get. All of the Sergeants seem to be exactly the same, which is a bit disappointing. They all do the exact same thing. And this thing, which I also don't have, Signum Strike. Signum Strike, did I say that right? There we go. As you can see, I'm almost got enough XP to get some more points on the board to buy something else, but there are all, these are the battlefield skills. There are also HQ skills, and I've got a whole bunch of them here. This one spawns a Ravenwind bike, which is pretty awesome. This one gives you this kind of defendable fortress on the battlefield that your Tactical Marines and stuff can get into, which is pretty decent. We've also got this Redeploy, which allows you to take a unit off the battlefield and put it back down again. This thing, which I've never actually used yet, I only got it at the end of the last mission, for the Lion, which gives one of your units the ability to taunt everything on a battlefield, which is pretty good, and maybe some buffs and stuff as well. I've got a couple of these which allow you to get 2 upgrades on your marines at any time. We'll go into that once we get into the game. And this, which basically boosts the speed that I gather that resource. But we'll look at that as we get into the game. There's the story. I assume it follows Piscina 4, the Battle for Piscina 4, but it's not very well presented. It's basically just boxes of text. But there are some good points about this game. Let's go into a game. Let's go into Day 27. Capture the geothermal station. Here we go then. As you can see, as I said, I quite like the art. The sound effects are actually pretty damn decent as well. The bolters sound nice, but the sound effects for the user interface elements are a bit jarring, as you can hear there. So here we go. Not the most amazing looking game. Do not expect Dawn of War 2 style models. Remember, this is cross-platform on mobile devices, and you can read this if you want. I am not going to bother because I'm too impatient. Basically, we have to kill all the orcs. It's very... Can I pause this? There we go. Okay, it's pretty damn repetitive so far, I have to say. It's basically kill the orcs, kill the orcs, kill the orcs. These are the standard battle missions in which you get your side, which is the left, and the orcs are on the right side. The goal is to destroy 3 of the structures on the right side of the map. There is also a skirmish battle type, which I've only seen once for some reason. In the 27 days, it's only come up once or twice. One of them was a tutorial of it, in which you have to just defend against waves of enemies, but you only get a limited amount of troops to do that, and that was pretty interesting, I think. Here we go. Let's look at the top. We have, there's no tooltips, by the way, which is annoying because it's designed for touch devices. The user interface in general is pretty damn bad. Doesn't seem to realize that I have a right click at my disposal and could do a lot of things a lot easier. But here we go. Top left, it says 500. That's redemption. You use this to spawn units and structures. And to the right of it is something called resolve, which you use to power your HQ abilities, which you saw earlier. And up here you can increase the speed. So let's go. I have a standard build which I'm going to use here because I don't know what's coming. I'm going to get 2 comms up. Comms are the thing that generate your redemption. And I'm going to get a drop pod in the center and a storm raven and a rhino, because these things can fire into opposing lanes. And immediately I'm going to shut these things down. And as you can see here, when you select one of the structures, in this case the rhino, you can select the upgrades that you want your devastators to have. This increases their cost and the time to produce them. So I'm going to upgrade this devastator rhino thing to have a plasma cannon, which ups the price to 98. As you can see, it's pretty damn expensive to have plasma cannons. So now every time a devastator is spawned, which is spawned by this yellow bar reaching the top, he'll have a plasma cannon. And then you play it kind of like playing cards, if you have the resources to do so. But what I'm going to do, you can also scrap them up here to get half of the cost back. What I'm going to do is press this. Again, there's no tooltips, but this makes this structure kind of shut down and start generating resolve. So I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to shut down my Storm Raven and do the same thing and get the upgrades selected for my Assault Marines. It's pretty jarring because you have to do this every single mission, and these missions are not long, they're like a few minutes each. So at the start of the game, always you're selecting the things and going through your build order of selecting all these upgrades every single time. And for the Tactical Marines, I can only select 2 upgrades. I'm going to select the Plasma Gun and the Frag Grenade, which is awesome. This thing can be thrown anywhere on the battlefield. So there we go. So basically my plan is to generate enough resolve so I can spawn a Ravenwind bike, and then I'll stop generating that and get a Tactical Marine out as soon as I can. These guys come out faster than the others, they're generated faster than the others. Here's an Orc Slugger, it looks like, and another one coming up to shoot my stuff. The Tactical Marine is going to come on the field and start shooting them in a minute. This card will pop up, there we go, and I should have stopped generating resolve a long time ago, but there we go. He's got a plasma gun and he will walk up the lane. Oops, there's a squig with bombs attached. Bang. and he'll start fighting the orcs in his lane and adjacent lanes. Because he has a ranged weapon, he can shoot in adjacent lanes. As you can see, the Storm Raven taking out this slugger. There's a Gretchen up here with these little guns, which are not very accurate, don't do a lot of damage either. Here's a Devastator Marine now. Crack. I'll get my Ravenwing bike on the field, and I'm going to get it on the field here. These things are very, very quick. They get to the end of the lane very quickly, but not the toughest things around. They have some decent firepower, but not a whole lot. And here's the Assault Marine. He will periodically leap forward, as you see there. Another Tactical Marine on the field, yes please. Should have used my grenade really, shouldn't I? As you can see, units will turn around to fire at things behind them. And I want to show you this. Look in the bottom left. I can spawn Captain Belial, apparently. I have no idea how I unlock this. Maybe once you unlock all of the HQ stuff, this becomes unlocked, I'm not sure. Nothing needs to be redeployed. They have these Orc towers over here. I'm not sure what the heck they are meant to be firing. What is that stuff? Ouch, something just blew up on my Assault Marine and killed him. Tactical Marine and Devastator trying to fight this slugger, and this is basically the game, guys. Decently fun, little casual game, I think. Nothing too complex, obviously. Bunch of stuff blew up there. What happened? The Tactical Marine is still going. I can use his grenade to try and hit this guy. It's kind of hard to time it on the moving units. Can I get him? Boom, yes I did. Let's spawn some more Tactical Marine goodness over here. That was actually dumb because I've already taken that lane. And I can get another Ravenwing bike to attack the top. Ravenwing bikes are awesome. So overpowered, you can get them on the field so quickly. And look how fast they get to the end of the lane. I've already taken 2 lanes. This is not the most difficult game ever, guys. And there we go. We win that mission. And as you can see, I gained a skill point there. So I'm going to go into my skills and see if I can get something. Now I want to try and unlock Belial, so let's get more of this stuff. Let's get this thing, a stasis grenade, which is basically a controlled ability. Learned these strange sound effects, and here we have some more text in a box to advance the story. Belial is in it, there he is, and he did fight at one point. He came into one of the missions and got owned by Gazkul, the giant orc fella, because Gazkul was doing 40 damage per hit and had tons of health. But I think that was part of the story. It was meant to go down there. Spoilers and all that stuff are pretty unavoidable, I'm afraid, guys. And now we're at Kothridge, which is part of the Piscina, or Piscina, however you say it, battle campaign type thing. I know that. I've heard of Kothridge before. So I've no idea what those guys just said, but we're going to go and fight again. So what do I like about this game? I think the aesthetic is quite nice. Obviously it's not AAA, it's not a Dawn of War 2 killer in terms of visuals, but it looks pleasant. I'm not outraged by the way it looks. The models are half decent, especially as you consider these things are running on mobile devices as well, and as a mobile game I think it would be pretty damn good. Quite a bit of fun to play on a tablet perhaps. Oops, I need to get stuff on the field. Standard build, double comms, and Raven, Rhino, drop pod in the middle, and you can switch these things to generate resolve by just clicking and dragging to the right, which is good. There we go, do it. There we go. But otherwise I should be able to change my tactical range just by right clicking there, but I cannot. In fact, I'm not going to take fragmentation grenades. Get my guys out a bit quicker. How about that? I need 40 resolve for my Raven Wing, yes, and it has a timer as you see there. So now I'm going to stop generating resolve and get the timers for my cards back. Tactical Marine can go in the mid and shoot at both lanes. The Devastator I think can shoot at every single lane. I think there is accuracy. Whoa, a stick bomb thrown at me. Ouch, that hurt. Devastator can go here. Oh, he hasn't got his plasma cannon equipped. But the heavy bolter is pretty damn nice as well. I have an Assault Marine ready, but as you can see I can't afford it, so I'm going to put him down here so the timer can reset again. And now I'm going to give him his upgrades. This one is an unupgraded Assault Marine. There's a squig again. Went flying. Assault Marine can come into this lane, start chopping stuff up. He's awesome in melee combat. That's 30 damage per swing. But his bolt pistol is terrible. And there's a sync kill. There are some pretty decent sync kills in this game, I must say. Pretty damn fun. Plasma cannon. Plasma gun, I should say, on my tactical marine now. Down goes a Devastator. But these guys will get through. Now this big turret looking thing is nasty. It does huge amounts of damage at close range. So I shouldn't have spawned. The only reason I spawned this guy here, in fact, can I not jump him? Oh, he was an upgraded one, wasn't he? Otherwise I could have jumped into the other lane. In fact, I should redeploy him. Yes, look at that. And now I'm going to spawn a Devastator. I'm going to put this in my safe place, whatever it's called, and get these guys generating resolve. Oh, or war truck is spawned, or whatever this thing is, for my Deathwing, because those bikes are awesome. Ravenwing, I should say. I don't think there are any Deathwing Terminators. I wanted a Dreadnought as well, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get access to one. These trucks are tough. I do have an Assault Marine here though with a Plasma Pistol, so let's take it down. So yeah, this is it. I wish there was more lanes, a bit more nuance to it, because unless you're specialising a lot and want all of your tactical marines on the field and triple drop pods and all that kind of thing, you're basically going to go for a balanced build most of the time, I think. I've already got that lane, so I'm not going to put anything else there. I can spawn a tactical marine, which I will spawn in this lane. Let's generate some more resolve now. Put this thing here. I'm not really concentrating. Generate some more resolve with these two. Just need this show you the Fortress of Redemption. Oh, I can try this thing. Stasis grenade. Will it stun the war trucks? Let's have a look. Did it work? No. Select anywhere on a battlefield. There, please. Not letting me select there. Okay, screw you then. I'll just get a Fortress of Redemption. And you can spawn it there, and then any unit coming up will stand in it and shoot out of it. And I assume it gives them bonuses to their range and their accuracy and stuff, but it doesn't actually tell you any of this. My Marines getting to work on the bases. Come on, fellas. I can spawn a Devastator here. No, I should have spawned him on that lane so we could get into this thing. But sometimes I've found the Devastators don't get into them, which is pretty annoying. I'll get this tactical marine into it then. These trucks are tough. But again, as you can see, it's pretty damn easy. I basically wasn't concentrating, just spammed stuff, and I'm easily able to win. There we go. We win again. Continue. So there you have it, guys. There is Storm of Vengeance. Is it something interesting? I'm not upset with my purchase. Seriously, it's $6.99 in London. You can't even get lunch for $6.99, and this has held my attention for well over an hour now. So I think it's a half decent little game. Lots and lots of hate for it on the Steam forums, it seems. Wanting a new Dawn of War game, trying to make it out to be something it's not, and that they never said it would be. But I'm relatively pleased. They've got the atmosphere right, I think. Some of the dialogue is a bit off, but the voice acting is decent, the sound effects are decent, the music's pretty damn awesome, I think. And the aesthetic, as I've said, is pretty nice, especially for a mobile game. So there you have it, guys. Storm of Vengeance. Tell me what you think if you've got it, and maybe get some multiplayer games going or something. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.